Hi, everybody. Welcome to our December 2018 ReFrame Association webinar on membership benefits. And I'm so glad to see all these familiar names on the screen of our members who've joined us. And we also have a potential member in our midst. Rose is with a Habitat affiliate. I'm glad you could join us, Rose. I'm going to start by talking through just a few benefits that we offer our members. And then the main thing I want to do for you is share my screen with you and show you how to best use our membership portal. And please do ask questions as we go along. You can unmute yourself and ask verbally, or there is a chat box. If you have any questions, you can just type your question in there. Let's see. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is some of our partner organizations who are businesses that offer benefits to ReFrame members. Hopefully most of our members know about most of these, but just in case, I wanted to cover them. The first one is Trinity HPSI, and they are a free group purchasing network that can help you get discounts on things like construction materials, office supplies, food service, and a bunch of other things as well. If you go to our blog on our website, you'll see a recent post by Trinity that explains some of the benefits that they offer. There's also a link there to the application form. Like I said, it's free, but you do need to join. That way they know your contact information and connect with you and give you all the discount information. They're always a exhibitor at our conference as well. Let's see, Cheryl mentioned that the sound is not working great and that it's kind of going in and out. If anybody else has a problem hearing me, if you don't mind posting something so that I can repeat myself if necessary. Okay, thanks. Another new benefit that we have is a new partnership with a company called Procore, and they provide construction management software. They were also at ReFrame conference this year. It's a very extensive and elaborate system that for-profit contractors use and pay $5,000 and up to have access to, but it's free for home repair nonprofits. So we're really glad to offer that benefit as well. If you don't know how to access that, let me know and I'll be sure to send you the information on how to connect with them. Another fairly new partner that we have is Verified Volunteers. They provide background checks, and ReFrame members get a discount for getting their background checks through that company. They also have a lot of really great resources just in general about volunteer management. And their goal is really to help nonprofits have qualified, quality background checks. And so they're happy to talk with you about what you currently have and to make sure that it meets all the best practices. Their goal is not actually to sell you anything. So if you just want some help checking to see if what you have is great, they're glad to do that. And then I just wanted to mention a few other of our business partners from our most recent conference. There's KFA Nonprofit Funding Solutions. It's a grants consultant. They have a really great weekly newsletter that shows, new federal grant opportunities. And they also have some ebooks that are helpful. Greenwich Philanthropic Advisors is another consultant for fundraising. There's the Tennessee Housing Development Agency for those of you who are in Tennessee. They provide some funds. FAHI is a network of groups in Appalachia that are working to end poverty. It's mostly a housing finance agency. So if you're doing new construction and you are in a county that's been designated as officially as Appalachian, they might be able to help you with that. Equipter is a really interesting company that's new to me this year. They have it's kind of like a dump truck, but it has a bed that raises up really high and goes right up against the roof. And the goal is to help with debris removal for roofing. You can rent it or purchase it. And then the last two of our exhibitors, I wanted to mention there's Blevins, which is a mobile home parts distributor. They have locations all over the country. And they're really helpful to find those tricky pieces that you need for those old mobile homes that can be hard to track down in Lowe's and Home Depot. And then the last one is Reinhardt, and they are a food service distributor. They have one location near me here in Johnson City, Tennessee, but they have several other locations throughout the country as well. So I know that was a mouthful in a lot of companies there, but just wanted to mention all those, make sure everyone's aware of those. And let's see, it looks like a few other folks have joined us, which is great. And so I'm gonna pause here, and the main thing I really wanted to share with you guys is our membership portal through our website. I wanted to make sure everyone knows how to access everything in it, and how to update your own information in it. And I also have a new feature that's brand new within the last week that I hadn't even announced yet that I want to share with you guys. So just hang on for a second here. Let me share my screen. Somebody's phone's ringing. That's, 8166. Let's see. I'm going to try to figure out who that is and mute it. Okay. All right. Hopefully you all can see my screen now. Once you are a ReFrame member, which most of you are, to access our online portal, you go to our website, which is reframeassociation.org. In the very top upper left corner there, it says My Account. And if you click on that, it'll give you a login. You all should hopefully know your login. If you don't, there's an option to reset your password. Now, I'm actually logged in as someone else. I do have my own account through it, but I'm an individual member, and organizational members have some different options that I don't have as an individual member. So I'm logged in as Chris Manley right now. Don't tell him I'm impersonating him. But that way I can show you everything that I wanted to. So the first thing, and probably the best resource in our online portal, is our resource library. And there's actually two different ways to find it. There's file library here. It's in the dashboard across the top. Now, if you are in a group within the portal, you'll actually see other files show up here that are in other workspaces. So that doesn't apply to most folks, really. It just applies to our board members, and Chris is one of our board members. And so all the files that he has access to will appear here, things that are in our resource library and also in our board of directors workspace. I find it a little bit tricky to sort the information this way, however. And so I prefer to go to the resource library a different way. And that is if you go into the Workspaces tab and then select the resource library. And you'll see a nice little disclaimer about how, we're not a substitute for a lawyer. And then you go to View All, and you'll see all the files that we have available in our resource library. You can click on the little arrows. You can sort them by category. You can sort them by subcategory if you're looking for something from a particular conference or a webinar. If you're looking just for new things that have recently been updated, you can sort it by the date uploaded. And I believe there's about 200 documents in there, so there's a lot to search through. There's a couple tricky things about the search function. If you search for a keyword such as fundraising, that works out pretty well. However, if you search by category, say you search for in the fundraising category, nothing is showing up. And that's because there's also subcategories. When you're searching by category, you also have to select a subcategory. And then it'll show you everything that appears in both of those. And so it's kind of tricky. I think if you don't select a subcategory, it'll only show you things that are in the category fundraising that are not included in any subcategory. And I don't know why, it's confusing, and I apologize for that. So basically, you can search just all categories by using keywords is probably the best way to do that. So if you're looking for measuring outcomes, you're not sure what category, you can just find it there, and it'll bring up everything that has to do with measuring outcomes. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention to you all about the resource library is that you can upload your own files. And the majority of the documents in this library came from our members, and we really would love to increase the size of our library. And as we add new members, we want to gain access to all of the wonderful resources and documents that you all have. So if you have a few minutes at some point in the next month or so to look through what's already there and then think about what your organization offers that isn't included. And then you can go ahead and upload it yourself directly. Just select the files. If you can, try to make sure the file name is something that makes sense to people, because that's what will appear here is the name. And then you can select which category you think that file goes under best, and then also the subcategory, which is probably going to be a sample document from the member, and then you can upload it. And you can upload multiple files at once as long as they're in the same category and subcategory. Let's see here. There is one document in particular that I wanted to make sure everyone knows is in here. And that is our Best Practices Guide. The ReFrame Association Best Practices Guide 2018 is a 60-page document that a whole bunch of folks, about 20 ReFrame members, worked on for over 2 years, and it has self-assessment at the end, and it's a really valuable tool. And I wish there was a way for me to highlight it in the library and have it pop up at the very top, highlighted in yellow or something, just because it's that important. But just wanted to mention it to you today. If you haven't seen it yet, please make sure you take a look at that. Does anybody have any questions about the resource library? How to find something? Okay, and if you're ever looking for something in there and you don't find it, let me know. I can help you either find it if we do have it, or it's a great way for me to put out a call to our members to request additional materials to be added to our resource library. Great. All right, now I'm going to tell you about the brand new thing that hadn't even told anyone about yet, and that is that we've just, in the past week, added a video library into our membership portal. And in here, you'll see recordings of all the webinars from this year. I'm still working on adding them from previous years. You'll also see recordings of a few sessions from ReFrame conference this year. And it's sorted by year. So if you go back to last year, I've got a couple webinars in there. And Appalachia Service Project has a bunch of really great construction training videos. And so we're adding those to our library as well. And I think there's some from 2016, there we go, and even as far back as 2015. And so we'll be adding to this in the next month or so, adding all of the webinars from previous years. But it's a really great resource. If you do miss a live webinar, they're all now going to be here for you to access very easily in the portal. Okay, a couple more things in the portal. There are 2 different directories. There's the directory of organizations, which is also available on the public side of our website for anyone to access. But in the portal, only for members, we have a separate directory that is a directory of people. And so if you maybe met somebody at ReFrame conference and forgot to exchange contact information, or if you're thinking about an organization that's similar to yours you want to connect with and wondering who to talk to, this is a great place to search for folks. So maybe you want to see what other Habitat affiliates we have. You can just type in Habitat and I'll search through that and pull up anybody who's affiliated with Habitat. Or maybe you're wondering who is in South Carolina. Oops, that didn't work. Let's see, I think maybe the Director of Organizations would be better to search by state, but maybe you met somebody named Tim and you can't remember their last name. You can come in here and decide which of the Tims it was. And then the Directory of Organizations is the same as it is on the public side of our website. We're working with our members to try to get everybody to update all of their directory listings so that the search functions work. Ideally, you should be able to go in and search for any groups that are have volunteers serving in Georgia, or that take middle schoolers. Maybe not in Georgia. There we go. And this is the first year that we've had this directory. Actually, our whole website system is brand new as of last December. And so we're getting very close to having everything the way we want it to be, because we have a goal of using our organizational directory as a volunteer recruitment tool. We'd love to be able to advertise this and share it with potential volunteers who are interested in doing home repairs. And they could search through it on their own. They could sort to see, which types of organizations allow longer-term volunteers, or if they're looking for new construction or demolition projects, that kind of thing. So I think it's a really great resource for that. Now, you might be wondering how to update your directory listing. And if you are the contact person for your organization, you are able to do that. You'll go into My Account, to My Profile. And then it's the very last thing all the way over here on the right. It's Members Organization Profile. And here you can see what everything is currently listed. Not everything that's on this form shows up in the directory. Some of it's just for ReFrame's information. But you'll see down here all the check boxes. And so if you can go into your own directory listing and make sure that all these check boxes are correct for your organization, that's what allows you to pop up in the search, in the searches when somebody is trying to find, a group to volunteer with in South Carolina, for example. And then this last field here is additional organizational information, and that will appear if someone clicks on your directory listing. So if somebody clicks on Rebuild Upstate, it pops up a box that shares this additional information. And then if you want to make changes to your listing in the directory of people, you can do that as well. It's under personal info. You can even upload your picture if you'd like. Be sure to click on that green Update My Profile button after you change anything. Great, let's see, 2 more things in the portal. If you are the primary contact for your organization, you have the ability to add additional people to give them access to this portal, and you do that through employee accounts. Let's see, if you click on that, you'll see a list of everybody who currently has an account through our portal, and you can delete them if they've moved on from your organization. You can also create an employee account and add in email address of anybody else who you'd like to give access to the portal. And you're welcome to add board members, summer staff alumni, anybody who's officially affiliated with your organization is welcome to have an account through our website in the portal. Also, if they have an employee account with us, then that means that they're going to be getting our newsletters, unless they unsubscribe, of course. And let's see, I think the last thing I wanted to share with you about the portal is the job bank. When you're logged into the portal, you can view the job bank the same as you can on the public side of our website. Whoops, went to the wrong one. Let's see. Here we go, it'll show up all the current listings, but you also have the ability to add your own posts. And this helps me a lot because you're not waiting on me to post it, but also it means that you can go back in and delete the job if you filled the position, or if you've made a change to the job title or anything like that. You can easily update it yourself. All right, does anybody have any questions about the portal?
Becca?
Yes.
This is Hannah Daly. Maybe you already answered this, but I might have missed it. Is there a place on here that shows where all of the business partners are?
That's a good question. We don't currently have that. The only place we have them is, I think there's a tab on the public side of our website for sponsors and exhibitors.
Okay.
But we need to figure that out. That's a good question.
Cool, thank you.
Yes. Any other questions about the portal? You can also see events in here and register for them. I think there's probably nothing listed right now except for this webinar that's happening right now. You can actually go back and see the history of things that you've attended in the past. If you're ever needing an invoice, maybe you deleted the email or something like that, you can find receipts in here as well. And let's see. I think there's only one item in our store, and that is our compensation report. Every 2 years, we do a compensation survey and then a report on it. Anybody who participates in the survey gets a copy of the report for free. And then after that, after we publish it, members who did not participate can purchase it for $49, and I think the non-member rate is double that. The 2015 compensation report is in our resource library that's available to anyone for free, and then this one will go for free as well in that library once our 2019 report comes out. Probably it'll be, I'm guessing, April or May when the survey will go out to everybody, and just watch out for that. We try to send a bunch of reminders. It's a really helpful report. People find it useful to compare. It's not just salaries, but it also has a lot of information about benefits, medical and time off and that kind of thing as well. Let's see here. I think that's all I had to do with sharing my screen, so I'm going to turn that off now. Let's see. So ReFrame members get a discount to all ReFrame events. The conference discount starts at $70 a person. And there's also a $20 per person discount for pre-conference workshops. And I did want to mention that our 2019 conference is going to be held November 6th through the 8th. And we're making one change to the conference, and that is that the event's actually going to start on Wednesday afternoon. So it's going to be a half day longer than it was in the past. We'll still offer pre-conference workshops on Wednesday morning. And registration will open probably in late April. And it's going to start at $199 for members. And we will offer day rates as well in case anybody isn't able to attend the full Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday event. Our members are also get access to all of our webinars for free. That includes roundtable webinars, ones that we have a guest speaker come in for. And again, that's free for your board members, staff, alumni, summer staff, anybody you want to share that link with, as long as they have an employee account, as long as they have access to our portal, and then they can register for our webinars for free. And we usually host webinars about 6 times a year, and we always record them, and then they will all be added to that library that you saw. All right, let's see, a few other benefits for members I wanted to share with you. All of our members are eligible to apply for Best Practices Awards, and we open the application up for that usually towards the end of the summer. And the awards are based on our best practices guide, and then the winners get a few things. They get a nice plaque to hang on their office wall. They also get a $150 discount off of their next membership dues, which if you're a small member, that covers your entire dues for a year. And then this past year, our winners also led a session at ReFrame Conference. I think we'll be doing that again, but I'm not sure. We haven't officially decided yet. Another way to get ReFrame bucks, which is basically a way of saying, discount on your membership dues, is to help recruit other members. We have what we call a Master Builders Club, and that's for members who help recruit other members. And so when a new member joins, if they mention your organization on the application form, then your organization gets 10% of the initial dues that they paid. So if they're a small organization that joined for $150, you get $15 in ReFrame bucks. All the way up to, I guess, the highest membership would be if they joined at $1,000, then you get $100 off as a discount. And let's see, just a couple more things. We have a ReFrame Facebook group, and I'm going to follow up this webinar with an email with links to all the things I've talked about. So if you're not in that Facebook group, we'd love to have you join. It's a great way to ask questions of other members. I also try to post important announcements there. And we also have a separate closed Facebook group that's just for executive directors and senior staff of ReFrame members. And the groups have been active for a while, but there haven't been a lot of people in them. So just in the past month or two, I've been trying really hard to get as many people in there as I can. I feel like it's going to be a really great resource if everybody's involved. And so if you are in the group, please do try to answer other people's questions. Even if you don't have the right information to answer the exact question somebody's asking, if you can comment on that and say, you know, I don't have an answer, that will help. Just with the Facebook algorithms, that will help it be shown to other ReFrame members in their newsfeed. So anytime you can comment on or like something in our groups or even on a regular Facebook page, that's really helpful for us. Let's see, just a few other things. Our members are all eligible to apply to serve on our board of directors. And also our members, the contact person for each one of our members gets to vote in our annual board elections to vote on who's going to be added to our board of directors. We have a really great group, and we have 5 new folks joining us in January. So we're excited to expand that group that deals with the budget and governance and strategic plans for the association. So those are all of the current benefits, tangible benefits, I should say. I think probably the biggest benefit that our members experience, and probably you all can attest to this, is just the camaraderie and networking and opportunities to connect with other like-minded folks and organizations. And that happens most of all at our conference, but it also happens year-round through our webinars and through our Facebook group, and just phone calls and emails. Whether or not I'm included, I know a lot of our members connect with each other individually, which we love to hear about. We do have a few new things in the works for next year. We're having 3 regional gatherings in 2019. We've never tried this before, but we're going to have a ReFrame Northeast event, which will be a 1-day event in Pennsylvania in the spring, kind of like a mini ReFrame conference. And we're going to have another event, ReFrame Southeast, which is going to be in South Carolina in the spring. And the goal of those events is to help engage more members, especially those folks who can't attend our conference because it's too far away or maybe it's too expensive to send the entire staff there. And also to recruit new members to help connect with folks who have never been to our conference. And then the third event is a little bit different. It's going to be in Washington, D.C. at the very end of March. I'm calling it ReFrame Washington, and it's an advocacy event that our advocacy task force is organizing, and we're hosting it in conjunction with the National Low Income Housing Coalition. They have a housing policy forum there. And so we're going to visit our senators and representatives' offices, also going to HUD, USDA, and a few other partner organizations like the Housing Assistance Council. And so ReFrame members will get a discount to all these events. The regional events that I'd mentioned, the one in Pennsylvania and South Carolina, is going to be very affordable. I think it'll be $30 for members and $45 for non-members. And then the DC event, registration is going to be really cheap for that, but I know housing and transportation is going to be the big cost for folks there. And the very last thing I wanted to mention is just ReFrame Foundation, which is a brand new sister organization that we formed in this past year. And so ReFrame Association is a 501c6, but ReFrame Foundation is a C3, which means that it's able to accept tax-deductible donations. And we're going to be working in the next year or two to be applying for some grants with the goal of offering pass-through funding to our members and also supporting our educational programs like our webinars and our conference. And so we're excited to see how that evolves. I think it's going to be a really great benefit for our members down the road. Does anybody have questions about anything that I've shared? Or anything that I forgot to mention? Let's see. So I think most of you all who are listening are members, and we're just so glad that you are a member of our association. Our little motto and tagline is, simply put, we're stronger together. And that's so true. The strength of our network comes from our members. And we're always looking to grow our network. We've gained about 21 organizations have joined so far this year, and we'd love to have at least that many new groups join next year. And so we really rely on our members to help spread the word. So if you know of any home repair organization that you don't think is a part of ReFrame, if you could reach out to them and invite them to check us out or send their information to me so I can connect with them, that would be really great. And Rose, who's joined us for the Habitat affiliate, we would love to have you join our network as well. I feel like it's very affordable. It starts at $150 a year based on the size of your organization. And there's a lot of benefits, as you've heard, you can get out of your membership. So if nobody has any questions, we will conclude here. Let's see, there is a really short, tiny little survey. If you have 2 minutes to take that, we'd really appreciate it, just so we can make improvements to our webinars for the future. And I'm going to put a link to that in the chat box here. If you want to click on that, that's great. I'll also send that in an email. And I will include in that email to you all links to all of our partners that I was talking about at the very beginning. Well, thanks everybody for joining me for this half hour. I know it's a busy time of year. I hope everybody finishes up this week and gets to take some well-deserved rest next week. And I look forward to chatting with you all in the new year. So thank you so much. Take care, everybody. Have a great afternoon.